To create a box plot, which is also known as a box and whisker plot, which is also known as a 5-number summary, we need 5 numbers, and it doesn't matter how many numbers are in the original number set, we're only going to use 5 numbers to create the box plot. And those 5 numbers are quartiles 1, 2, and 3, and the low and the high. So when we're looking at the number set, the first thing that's important to do is you have to put them in number order. So if they're not in number order, just reorder them. I look over here and the low number is a 2, and the high number is a 20. Now, the quartiles are quarter means to split something into 4. We need 3 lines. So if I had a line here and I use 3 lines, that splits this line into 4 pieces, and we would call those quartile 1, quartile 2, and quartile 3. So splitting something into 4 pieces simply requires that we put 3 lines there. And we want to do the same thing to this number set here. So to split it into 4 sections and find the 3 quartiles, first thing that I want to do is cut the number set in half. So to find the middle number, I count the number of numbers. I have 11. So the 6th number, which is a 9, is our Q2. Another name for quartile 2 is the median, which is the middle number of a number set. I'm going to put the 9 over here. In order to find the middle of the first half, I'm not going to use the 9 over again. I'm just going to look at this first half. There's 5 numbers, so the middle number is a 4, and that's going to be my Q1. I put a 4 here. And then I look at the middle of the second half and I see that that is 14. So that's going to be the Q3 number. Now that I have the 5 numbers that are used in the 5-number summary, I'm going to make a line on my number line over here. Don't skip any numbers. Make sure that your number line has all the numbers between the low and the high. So for the low, it's a 2. I put a line here. For the high, it's a 20. I put one here. And then Q1 is a 4. Q2 is a 9. And Q3 is a 14. And the only thing left to do now is to create the box by putting a top line here and a bottom line. And then I just have to connect the whiskers to the high and the low. Box plots are used to answer range type questions. I see that the range here is going to be the distance between the low and the high. So I do high, which is 20, minus the low, which is a 2. So my range is 18. And there's another type of range. That's the range that's inside the box here, is how wide the box is. And that has a special name too. We call it the interquartile range. Interquartile range. And it's just the width of the box. So I take the high number Q3 minus Q1, which is 14 minus 4, and the IQR is 10. So when I'm answering the range type questions, it's either going to be in here or the range of the entire set on the outside. When we have a number set that is divided evenly into 4 sections, each one of those sections contains 25% of the numbers. So 25% is here, 25% is here, here, and finally here. So when I look at this and I can get a question that might say, how many of the numbers were above a 14? Well, the answer is 25%. What percent of numbers are bigger than a 4? Well, here's the 4, so I have 25, 25, and 25. So 75% of the numbers are bigger than a 4. How many numbers are smaller than a 9? So 50% of the numbers are smaller than a 9. It makes perfect sense. If this is the middle of the number set going this way, 50% of the numbers will be smaller than 9, 50% of the numbers will be bigger than 9. What percent of the set of numbers is 20 or smaller? And the answer is 100% of them are smaller. How many numbers are bigger than a 20? Well, 0% because it's not inside the boundaries of our box plot. So in this question, the owner of a restaurant wants to know the range of distances people are driving to come to his restaurant. He also wants to know the median distance people travel to come to the restaurant. Construct a box plot to answer these questions. Well, in order to construct the box plot, I'm going to need the low, the high, the 3 Qs, quartiles, and then I can determine the range and IQR. And looking at this number set, the first problem is that the numbers are not in order, so I'm just going to reorder them. So the smallest number I see is a 3. Just cross them off as you pull them down. So here the numbers are in order from smallest to biggest. Now I want to determine the information over here. So let's count the number of numbers in the number set. There are 11, so the 6th number is going to be the middle number, which is the Q2. So that's an 11. I know the low number is a 3, the high number is a 22. I get the range by subtracting the high minus the low, so that's 19. And the IQR, we can't determine yet because we don't know the box. So I need the middle of the first half of the set. That's a 4, that's Q1. And I need the middle of the second half. That's Q3. $14. And then my IQR is Q3 minus Q1, so that's a 10. Now I have all of the numbers necessary to construct the box plot. The next thing I'll do is construct a number line. Now to construct the box plot, the 5-number summary, I start with the low, which is a 3, the high, which is a 22, Q1 is a 4, Q2 is 11, Q3 is a 14. Now enclose the box by connecting the tops of Q1, 2, and 3. Connect the whiskers to the low and the high. Now we're able to answer range questions. So the range of distances people are willing to travel to his restaurant falls between 19 miles. And then the median distance, the middle distance is 11 miles.